In this session, we'll discuss about the room tagging, both for the open rooms, interiors, or closed rooms. So we'll look into these different options and we'll apply in our structure which we have created. So here you can see this is the open room where we are tagging a room like the room numbers, and in case of a closed room also you can tag it. Just like that, you have different properties of the tag, like room bounding element, modify room properties, and you can create the bounding elements. These are the different parameters. You can have the limit, you can have the number, area, volume, upper limit and lower limit, wall floor finish. These are the couple of parameters which I will show you. Next, we'll move to the different cutouts, or you can say openings by different face, shaft, walls by using vertical reference, dormer. All this will create and understand. So different structures will take and we'll see how to create the cutouts, and maybe you can say frequently we use to have shaft in case of your lift and all, or in case of a multi-story building you cut and you position particular structural item there, so there you can use all this cutout. So let us move to the room and how to add tags, that we'll look into. This is the plan which we are using, and you can find in your chapter 7 folder, exercise folder. So we'll apply for both the cases in case of a open boundary and closed boundaries. So here inside the architectural panel you can see rooms and areas. Here you have the rooms, separator, tag areas and tag areas. If you go to the rooms and just you save the project, when you go to room and you click the closed room inside, directly we'll be able to create the room details. So before going to this, I'll just escape it and I'll go to the edit type, and here you can see the show area, this not checked, show room number, this ticked, and leader arrows, that also you can configure, arrow 30° or whatever you need to configure. I'll just go to apply and OK. When you move inside the room and you click here, maybe starting from here, then here and here. I'll just go to escape. Here you can see the room informations with the tagging is created here. If you go to view and 3D view, here all these room informations are not visible in your 3D interface because those are 2D embodied items. But in case when you change this room partitions maybe to 15 feet to 14 feet and have a look here, 268 square feet, that will be updated, and just close any error message if you are encountering. So in this way you can monitor each room's area with respect to the nomenclature, and you can even position to the same level just like this, because this has to be in a very order and presentable way, and this also you can move to the center. So these all alterations you can do after inserting this, and you can align this properly. And also here you can see whatever the other informations you would like to attach here. If you go to the edit type, this all informations you can configure, and leader line you can also attach. If you move this, you can see this is not showing anything. When you move to inside, this information will be embedded to your internal surface. So this tagging lines you can use to navigate this information. So independently you can select this and you can go to a tag line, so that you can see this tagging line can be used if you have a big space where you want to positions with respect to a centralized locations, that can be altered. This sorts of tagging can be done independently. But in case of a open room like this, when you want to create your room tag, you can see not enclosed. When you are moving the cursor, it is showing not enclosed, not an issue. So what you have to do it? You have to go to room separator and you specify your separator with respect to the center line. And next, when you move the room, is calculated. So this method you have to use for creating a room separator, then you can have all the informations which you need to attach. Just like that, here you can see the tag room. So you can have the tagging for this information which already we have created. So what you can do is you can create your areas and you can tag the informations. So this also we'll discuss during our annotations and other informations discussions. Next we'll see how to create the net areas. If you see this particular area of your floor plan, if you want to calculate, what you can do is go to area and area plan, and here you can see the rentable or gross building, the first floor. When you go for this, automatically creates area boundary. Go for yes, it creates from the outer, so that you can create your built up areas, and you can see area is 871 square feet. Or you can go for area plan, and you can go to rentable first floor. Yes, it will create the inside one, and it will show the area also. Go to area and go per area 737 square feet. So in this way you can have your area informations embedded here. We'll see the opening different options by face, shaft, wall, vertical, dormer. We'll look into this one by one. So how to use that in our case. So you can open this opening tute model from your folder or DVDs. So once you open this, you can directly see all these 4 different options under opening areas of your architecture tab. So once you see these options, you need to understand where we can use these specific options. By face is very specific to your face of the walls. If you select this, you can select your roof structures. When you select it, you can set your preference that from which view you need to have. So let us say if here I need to have one opening, and you go for accept, and you can visualize from the 3D. You can see the opening, which side exactly you need to have, that you can model, and you can also control the depth as per your requirement. You can edit sketch, and you can exactly see from right side or left side from which view you are going to define this, that you can set. Next we'll see very important options which frequently we'll be using, that is your shaft. Shaft is basically, you can see here when you hover your cursor, that you can use typically for placing your lifts, or if you need to have a space in all the floors, that you can also use. So the vertical you can directly cut the openings. You go to shaft, and then you can draw your cross sections. I'm going to the top views, and I'm going to rectangle, and here will be my positions for the shaft. When you draw this, you can specify all the dimensions as per a requirement, and when you go for OK, you can see the opening will be cut the vertically. Go to view and 3D views, and have the options. Here you can see this particular column, if you increase for the multi-stories, it will cut in the all corresponding floors and roofs and everywhere. So here you can have your model so that it is not going to intersect to none of the other items. Just like that, you can see over the walls. If you have your walls, there you can have opening. So I'll go to the typical views and I can control it. So if you want to select a particular wall, the first you need to navigate to the proper views and you can create your walls, cut out. You can see from all the different side where you need to have the opening. So this side I need to create the opening. So go to the wall and select the wall. Then you can create the opening dimensions here, whatever the dimensions you need. And when you select this, typical dimensions you can see here. And what about the opening? That also details you can set the window sill. If you want to create an opening, that also you can specify based on where you need to align it, etc. Just like that, you can have the verticals. In case of verticals, you can create vertical openings. That means if you go to the verticals and I need to have a special cutout here and select the roof, and I'll go to the top view and roughly I'll sketch the opening, and this may be something like this. I'll create 3 points, here 1 point, and the shape kind of I want to give like this. I'll delete this line and here I will do little bit of fixing work so that I can have my close boundaries. I'll go for OK, and now you can see this is the opening which I have created, and here you can have your specific structural preview and dome or kind of whatever you need to do. So the vertical you can do a cutout like this. Like this is the dormer one also. The dormer is also a creations which you can do inside the roof, that I will discuss in my coming session. So just have a practice of all these 4 in brief by taking different conditions like by face. You can apply to the roof or the floors or the ceilings. Anywhere you can have it. Shaft is very specific to for large scale openings. Walls, you can select the walls and do the openings. Vertical you can use for the roofs and floors and ceiling everywhere. And finally the dormers I'll discuss in my coming session. Thank you.